Big Brother house without love triangles. Thank you so much for sticking here with me on Leadership TV. It's another exciting episode of Big B Niger Updates. I am Cynthia Omado, and of course, I bring you the gist here from the Big Brother house. The season is, of course, no loose guard, but it seems some housemates are already loose guarding because some ships have started to form and their legs are not quite steady, and some people are looking for assurance, and while others are trying to knock two people's heads together and play games and what have you. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Ozee. Yes, Ozee, by the way. It seems I kind of notice a triangle forming between him and Onyeka and Victoria. I don't know if it's qualified to be called a triangle, but feelings are going to get hurt at the end of the day. Like we saw in the video earlier, WannixHandi were discussing the Onyeka situation with Ozee and the fact that she's not being truthful to herself. Okay, remember 2 nights ago, Onyeka was in the closer area and discussing with Handi and her sister Chizoba, talking about Victoria. Victoria had been making efforts to get closer to Ozee, and because she told Victoria that Ozee has a club or runs a club and Ozee is from a wealthy family, so it seems like Victoria is shooting her jet ski towards Ozee and putting more pressure and getting closer to him, and all of that. And I think Handi kind of mentioned in the conversation that they are just having a friendship. I know Ozee's girlfriend outside. He's in a full-blown long-term relationship, so I don't think Victoria is looking for anything with him. But then Onyeka just continues to dwell and dwell on this. Even yesterday, she still had a conversation with Victoria's partner Sean, the second half of the Shatoria pair, and we were talking about Victoria and the fact that she went to change her clothes because of Ozee. She changed from the trousers she was wearing into short skirt because she wants to get look attractive to Ozee, and she kept on saying it's not that deep, it's not that deep. But Onyeka, it's not that deep, but you are still like talking about it continuously. You've gone to have conversations with Victoria, in a way, and ask her what are you doing with Ozee. That one too has denied and said, no, we're not doing anything, we're just friends. You still went to Ozee again and had a conversation, and Ozee, tried to shut that down and say, I've never seen somebody that feels so highly of themselves like you. Ozee also tried to shut that down and said, okay, I'm the kind of person that birds fly to me, and you, Onyeka, are the kind of person that flies to other people. So we are different people. So he was insinuating that Victoria comes to him. So, I mean, if she comes to me, will I chase her away? We are just in this tiny space. We are in Big Brother's house, so we will have conversations with everybody. Onyeka is trying to paint this picture of, okay, it's not, I don't feel anything. Ozee, you can befriend other people. But when you look at it in a deeper way, it seems like she doesn't want Ozee to befriend other girls, but just her. But she's not coming out fully to say it. She said, I'm not here for sheep. I'm not here for sheep. My snail is not for everybody. I'm just here to befriend people. But why are you going on and on and on, going around the whole house to have the same conversation about Ozee and Victoria, if in a way you don't feel some type of way about it? I mean, if you didn't care, you would not be having the conversation. But you going continuously and hammering on it shows that it actually affects you. So my advice to you, Onyeka, is just come clean, okay? Open up. There's no need to hide. There's no need to go behind corners to talk. And even if the guy is not giving you the vibe, Ozee is not giving her the vibe that he used to in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I noticed Ozee really gave Onyeka that vibe. The whole, you have a soft place in my heart, the whole late night talking, whispering, hand holding. And it was like there was a complete switch, and he started doing those things he used to do with Onyeka, with Victoria. So she's I get where Onyeka is coming from. She's a human being, but then that's why they're in Big Brother's house, no loose guard. But it seems she's loose guarding and feelings are getting involved, but she's just dancing around it and pretending. So let's move on now. Yesterday, Big Brother had a diary session with a few of the housemates, and I'll just point out some that stood out to me. Obviously, the Aces and the Shatoria pair. You know that the Aces have been embroiled in in a battle with the Nellitas, but the major people that are involved in this is Nelly and Suge. Something happened, it's quite messy 2 days ago, where Chinwe said something in a roundtable discussion about, there's a guy in this house that asked me out when I came in, even as I was taking, he asked me out, he asked Victoria out, he asked, he got close to a few girls, and then some people were guessing and all of that, but Nelly felt like the conversation was embarrassing to her because she didn't know that they were talking about Suge until much later, and the fact she had to find out in that way was really embarrassing. So she even broke up with Sue. She said, I'm not doing again. Please do on your own. Stay away from me. I regret talking to you, blah, blah, blah. It was an entire issue. She even presented the matter to Big Brother, and Big Brother encouraged her to have another conversation with Sude. Well, yesterday, Big Brother dragged the living daylight out of Sude, and they analyzed the situation. And Sude was emphasizing on the fact that he was just joking with Chinwe. It was nothing serious. He felt it wasn't her business, but the fact she came and asked him, which girl do you like in this house? He just gave her an anyhow answer and told her, I like you. You are the one I like, just that you are taken. But he didn't know that Chinwe took it serious and threw it on that table just to probably shake Nelly and embarrass her. Those two girls they don't see each other eye to eye. So Big Brother kept on, asking him that if you were placed in that situation and Nelly made that kind of statement, would you like it? But, the joke you made and Chinwe took serious, that should be a lesson to you to, be careful the kind of jokes you tell in the future. And Big Brother advised him in a way and, told him to repair his household. In his words now, he said, go and repair your household. I wish you good luck. So far on his end too was talking about how it's affecting his relationship with Anita, because of course Nelly and Anita are besties and they are the Nelita pair. So in a way, it's kind of like a transfer of aggression to Tofa and said, since your friend is like this, I'm sure you are the same way too. So Big Brother kind of advised them, be careful with the kind of jokes you tell in the future. It can be really hurtful, and the jokes you think will not stick will actually stick and come back to bite you tomorrow. Well, moving on to the Sean and Victoria pair, Big Brother asked them the people that they nominated and why they nominated them, and Victoria and Sean gave their various reasons for people they nominated, and Victoria also made it known that she didn't even like the nominations that were made. She didn't quite agree with it, but just had to go on with it. So Big Brother tried to advise them in a way and said, Sean, try to indulge your pair. Your word must not always be final. And then also encourage Victoria to be more open with her, with her opinions to Sean, and not allow him shut her down or try to suppress her or whatever, because we can notice the dynamic between those people, and it seems like they are not on the same page. It's always like a master, servant kind of thing going on. I stand to be corrected, but we don't see them working, together. We don't see them speaking with one voice. And Big Brother tried to advise them moving forward. Yesterday too, there was a very melancholic, a tear-filled task, super commando task, where they had to talk about difficult situations that they went through in life, and they just had to fire on and move on. And some of the tales that were told by the housemates were quite, tear-jerking. They were melancholic. People talking about how they had to struggle to get to where they are. Some stories were really, really sad, and it just shed more light on who the housemates were and why they are the way they are. And even you can even draw strength from some of these stories, because some of these housemates don't even look like what they've been through. When they open their mouth and tell you the things they've gone through, you're so shocked, and you can't even begin to imagine somebody going through that and still standing strong. Like Anita talking about pursuing her modeling career at 17, and a modeling agency contacting her from Port Harcourt, and she went there and she was kidnapped, but she was rescued at the end of it. But that particular situation must have been really traumatic for her. I can't even imagine having to relive that experience. And Chinwe also talking about her mother, dying from cancer, being sick, having to go back to school to finish her final year. Then when getting back to school, she came back and the mother had passed away. Initially, the mother was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, had the treatment, and the cancer, she was certified cancer free, but the cancer came back in 2011, and that was how her mother passed away. And she being the first of 5 children, she having 4 siblings, and having to stand up to the occasion at that age, 21, 22, taking care of them and all that, she spoke about it with tears in her eyes. It was such a sad story, but then she said, thank God I don't look like what I've been through. I take care of my siblings, they are very fine. The last one is in school, 19 years old, and me being there, having to stand up to the occasion of being a mother at that age was really not easy. This professional athletes like Sean and Suge talking about their sports career and how it was cut short. Sean's career was cut short as a result of injury. He couldn't go on with his football career in the UK. And Suj also, because of an injury, was not picked by American sports coaches who came to Nigeria to look for prospects. And the fact that his sports career didn't go as far as he wanted it to be. So far, being a fashion designer, talked about his shop being razed down to the ground by fire, and the fact he had to start afresh from the beginning, of course with the support of friends and family and all that. Victoria talked about losing her dad, having to try her hands on different things, fashion designing, this and that. Nothing was really working out, and then she somehow got into traveling, and now she gets paid to travel for fun. So really inspiring stories. The twins, WannixHandi, talking about washing people's clothes, having a 9 to 5 job, being bullied in the office space, going into digital marketing, not really making much out of it, and then finally going into DJing, and the fact that they were insulted for being female DJs, they were slut shamed, called all sort of names, and just it was really a lot. But when you listen to those housemates and their stories, it gives you a vivid picture into how brave they are, because even coming into the Big Brother house is not it's not an easy thing. You know that the cameras will be on you 24 hours. You don't know how you'll be perceived in the public. So I think it's actually a brave thing even going into the Big Brother house. So each of those housemates told their stories with tear-filled stories. It was really sad and inspiring at the same time. But sometimes when you feel like you want to criticize these housemates, you remember that they're just humans. There's a reason they behave the way they behave. And we can actually draw strength from some of these stories. People that watch them. That's why I laugh when people say, what do you gain from watching Big Brother? When you watch them and listen to some of these tasks that they are given, and hear their stories and watch them talk about it, it can actually draw strength from them. You that's actually watching, you can learn you can take some of the experiences they have as a lesson to apply to yourself. So that's just it. That task was really, really melancholic. And well, at the end of the day, the Shatoria pair won won the task. We've not really seen Super Commando doing such melancholic tasks. It's always, fire on, energy, climb this tire, climb this stage. But they had a twist yesterday, and it was fun to see that a little change was made. So still talking about some of the housemates, like I said earlier, you can notice some. I don't know what to say about the radical peer, Mikey especially. I don't know his problem with those twins. He's always going on and on and on about them, and how he likes them, but they're rude, they're this, they're that, they can't come to me with that energy. He'll shut them down and blah blah blah. Before you know it, you say he liked Handy and Handy didn't like him back. Before you know it, you say he liked Wani and Wani. It's just I don't know what to say about Mikey's personality. He's quite he speaks in a degrading way about women, and that's quite scary to see. That's one thing I don't really like, because I don't subscribe to going into the Big Brother house and talking down on any gender, knowing that you're on an international platform. You're supposed to sell yourself in a positive light, but then you keep going on and on about something really negative. That can shed a bad light on you, really. So I think that's all I had to talk about today on BB Niger Updates. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with my crew, and we'll be dissecting some more activity in the Big Brother house. We'll be talking ships, we'll be talking friendship, we'll be talking alliances. So keep it a day with me here on Leadership TV. Till tomorrow.